Thank you to System Shock for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out the game for yourself, then you can find a link to the Steam page in the description below.
Look upon my works, foul creatures, and
you know, I was going to kill you fast, but if you're going to pull stunts like this, I'll take my time.
It's a first-person sci-fi RPG developed by Night Dive Studios and published by Prime Matter. It's a faithful remake of the genre-defining 1994 classic, and it has you face off against the megalomaniacal AI Shodan aboard the remote Citadel station.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
It has a fantastic retro-modern graphical style, paying homage to the original while updating the visuals for a modern audience. It has a deep and engaging gameplay loop, fully immersing you within the world. The game has a very robust difficulty selector, allowing you to tweak a variety of options, such as combat and puzzles, while still maintaining an old-school learning curve. It also has a complex, well-told story, which is told naturally through gameplay and exploration, and Shodan is a terrifying joy to listen to whenever she decides to torment you. The attack and damage feedback is a little lacking, making it occasionally difficult to tell if you're doing or taking harm. The game, upon release, has some bugs, especially with the persistent bodies, including them falling randomly to the ground when you enter a room. While it is faithful to the original, the learning curve may be a little too steep for some, with the hand-holding kept to a bare minimum, and it not only brings over the best parts of its retro design, but also some of the more clunky and archaic aspects too. I never played the original System Shock, what with still being in infant school when it was released and all, and rapidly got into the new wave of immersive video games such as Half-Life and Unreal when I did get old enough to play them. So the remake is a great opportunity to be able to play this classic, only with a bit of modern polish. And the main thing that strikes me is that the game was far ahead of its time, weaving a complex narrative largely told through gameplay and the environment, while presenting it all in a unique and genre-defining package. Now I have to be honest, when I initially played through the demo for this remake, I wasn't all that taken with it. Sure, the concept had interested me for years and I've been meaning to try and get around to playing the original, but I found the interface to be a little confusing, the lack of direction somewhat overwhelming, and I couldn't quite seem to figure out how close I needed to be in order to cave a mutant's skull in. Added to that the thick air of foreboding and isolation, which I grant you is an effective use of atmosphere, only I'm not that big on horror, and everything combined kind of turned me off a little bit. Trying it again with the full release was initially not that much better, but then I realised something. I know that games such as Bioshock are said to be spiritual successors to System Shock, so I was trying to play it largely like I would if I was in Rapture, but then I found a strange sense of familiarity, and it occurred to me that I should instead be playing it like I played Prey 2017, the true spiritual successor to System Shock, even down to it being based on a terrifying space station. Once I got into the right mindset, I started having a blast with the game, recycling items for resources, listening to audio logs, hunting down cameras so that the rabid AI couldn't find me, and oh yeah, grinning in terrified glee every time Shodan started trying to psychologically torment me. I realise now why there is such a fond legacy attached to System Shock, and the fact the original is extremely dated, both graphically and gameplay wise, means there's never been a better time to have a deeply faithful remake with a coat of modern graphics and gameplay conveniences. Now it's not to say the remake is perfect, as while there are improvements to certain areas, it seems to have been a warts and all affair in its adaptation, and while I wouldn't say it's a game for everyone, needing a much slower, more thoughtful approach than some modern audiences would be willing to give, it is definitely worth checking out the demo at the very least, and if you love Prey, then this is kind of a no-brainer. Also, and I don't want to give anything away, but there were some sections which really caught me off guard in the best possible way. It's almost like Descent had a child with Tron, and if you want any more context of that, then you're gonna have to check out the game for yourself.